Hi families, it's me, Heather, the Family Ministry Coordinator at New Richmond United Methodist Church. And as part of Holy Week, I had my kids and I participated in a little event, I guess, for Maundy Thursday, which is today. So throughout Holy Week, I will be posting little videos for kids and maybe adults to enjoy and learn some things about what Holy Week is all about. So today is Maundy Thursday, and Maundy means, it's not, I used to think it was Monday Thursday, but it's not, it's Maundy, M-A-U-N-D-Y, and it is a word that comes from the Latin word that means command or commandment, and it references a commandment that Jesus gave on the night of the Last Supper, the Passover meal that he was celebrating. And at that event, at that Last Supper, he did something which I just did for my children. So I want you to look, as you're watching this next videos, at the bowl at the beginning, and just pay attention to what that bowl looks like, and then see what I'm doing. Okay. Hey, take a look at that water. Pretty clean, pretty nice. Oh, and there goes a gross, dirty foot. Kaylin and Charlie did fantastic getting their feet dirty, but even still, they didn't get them as dirty as the disciples would have been. And that's because back in those days, they would walk barefoot along dirty, dusty, muddy roads that animals would walk along. There were no toilets at that time, so all sorts of grossness were those people stepping in. And in the middle of the Last Supper, which is the meal that communion is based off of, with sharing of the bread and the wine or juice that we use at our church to celebrate and remember Jesus' sacrifice for us. Jesus stopped the meal and he got down on the floor and he washed his disciples' feet. Now, back in that day, people would wash their feet if they were going to be doing some sort of religious ritual. It was a way to become clean before meeting God. They also would wash feet just to be hygienic. So if you were a guest in somebody's house, they typically would have a servant come and wash their feet. And if the host particularly wanted to show how much he adored you, he or she would wash your feet themselves. And as you can see, it's not really a pleasant task. I'm not a fan of feet necessarily, especially when they're dirty and filled with, covered with whatever it is they're covered with. But it was a way to show service. It was a way to show love. It was a way to help us become clean and purified and focused and ready and centered to meet God. And that's what Jesus did. He showed that he was so dedicated to his disciples and therefore to us that he got down on the floor and he washed his disciples' feet and said, "I give to you a new commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." So here's the water after I washed the feet of Kaylin and Charlie. Okay, so if you look at the bowl afterwards too, it's pretty gross. Like, that's all the stuff that I cleaned off of my children's feet. So I think remember that too about Maundy Thursday. It's a time for us to remember how we are cleansed and how Jesus brings us some pureness and love and just can help wipe away the grime so that we can feel refreshed and renewed. And with that, I wish you a blessed Maundy Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow for Good Friday. Bye.